I'm Ty, and today we're talking about Ty's treasures. That's the thing here, is I have a big collection, not that you can see it right now, but I picked up a few additional things physically in the last little while that I'd love to share, even though for the most part they're all still wrapped up. So with that said, let's head down the warp pipe. So the first item here is going to be a necessity, at least as far as I'm concerned. I was playing Resident Evil 5 and 6, but this happened during Resident Evil 6 with my buddy Jace Ventura, and my controller battery died on my PS4 controller. So what happens? Well, I grabbed my second controller, because for me, I've always gone by the philosophy that you should have a second controller, especially since they went wireless, just in case they die. It's a lot nicer than hooking up a cable and running it, especially if you have the disposable income for an extra controller. However, this one is a launch PS4 controller, and yeah, it's definitely not looking too bad. I mean, if you look closely at it, I'm sure the video is going to pop in and out right now, but it's not got a lot of wear and tear on it. My other controller that actually still works properly has no issues in terms of anything but awful wear and tear. However, with this one, the biggest problem was the directional pad, specifically the up, left, and right don't work at all. They seem to work once or twice here or there, but it was not reliable, and for the most part, I would say 99% of the button presses I did didn't work, which was a horrible scenario to run into with a controller dead that works, and a controller powered, which doesn't work, in the middle of some enemies attacking me in Resident Evil. I wish I could find the footage, but I can't figure out where it's saved on my PS4 right now, and if you checked out the update video, I just haven't had time to really delve into that, so I'm lucky I'm getting this video out right now. So what did I do with this? Well, I took this and basically went, oh no, I need another controller. So we'll open this one up maybe in a future video just for fun, because I really don't care for brakes because it's broken already. However, that caused me to pick up something that my inner 7-year-old would love, and that's this gold controller. I'm not the biggest fan of gold necessarily right now, as I've become an adult, but obviously it goes with certain things like wedding rings and such, but for this guy, it actually is kind of nice, and with it being a non-launch PS4 controller, it feels kind of more grippy and more well-built. That's probably due to the wear and tear of hundreds of hours or thousands of hours of playing. But anyways, this was kind of a cool pickup, and like I said, a bit of a necessity on my part. Moving on to some of the more fun things that I picked up, there was a recent release of a game, and that is going to be the first one up here, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So I actually already own Mario 3D World and played it a bit back in the day on the Wii U, but since then I've sold my Wii U just when I was kind of downsizing a bit. I do want to pick one back up again because I still have my game collection. But Bowser's Fury was enough to sort of entice me there and make me want to pick it up and check it out. As you can kind of see, it's still sealed because I've had zero time other than playing co-op games with friends. But yeah, I can't wait to check Bowser's Fury out and replay Mario 3D World either with my wife or by myself. So that's going to be fun when I can finally get around to it. So next up is going to be a stack of games for the PS4, because I should have picked them up a while ago and never really bothered to do it. First up, well, let me get this out of the actual shipping packaging here. Should have done that before. It's going to be Azure Striker Gunvolt. So this one was one I actually wanted to pick up way back when it originally launched. I was originally thinking on the Switch because I have an arcade controller for the Switch, and I found playing the Mega Man games really fun by using a arcade controller actually. But ultimately, it's not the end of the world. I'll probably just pick up a PS4 arcade controller at some point, or an adapter for my PS3 arcade controller. But yeah, this one is kind of in the vein of a Mega Man X game, which are some of my favorite games of all time. And I can't wait to check it out and kind of delve into it. But yeah, it's kind of getting back more into the retro games recently, just because they're kind of quicker and a little bit easier to jump into here and there and play a few levels out. That actually ties directly into my next game here, which is, nope, that's not it. And we'll go to the one below that. Yep, and it fell on the ground. Cool. So this is going to be a horrible sticker in front of the art, but let me see if I can pick that off. Okay, good. It's not one of those awful stickers they use on IKEA furniture. So it's going to be the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. I was recently playing the Mega Man ZX games, or Z or Z or whatever you call them, and I should probably stop like this. And just decided that I really wanted to replay the Mega Man X games. I have the first one on Super NES and the second and third one in a, well actually all of these in a collection on the PS2, but my PS2 is completely broken. And until I get a chance to see one of my buddies and pick up his PS2, which he's no longer using, I'm not going to be able to play it. So I decided to grab these, especially with the save state features and all of the modern sort of quality of life updates. It's kind of enticed me to jump back into these games and make them either a lot more fun to replay, or in the case of the PlayStation 1 and kind of later Mega Man games, I never really got into those and played them because I didn't have a PlayStation until well into its life cycle and was kind of starting to get into PC gaming more at that point in time. But yeah, super excited to check these out, even the bad ones, and hopefully I'll maybe be able to make some sort of content with them. Oh, that doesn't sound good. That's probably just nothing, but yeah, it's totally sealed, like all these other games. Alright, so this is one I decided that I wanted a physical copy of because I played the demo, loved it, and it's also on Game Pass if you happen to have Xbox Game Pass, and it's also coming to Game Pass for PC. So that's going to be Nier Automata. I ended up picking up the Game of the Year edition, and yep, still sealed, sticker also on there, but on the back, so I don't care as much because I can show you the nice fancy artwork here, and you can have the stupid reflections from my lights. But it's a great game. Platinum Games, one of my favorite developers, and I do need to still play Bayonetta 2 as well. Just I'm waiting for those to go on sale for a more reasonable price. I don't think it ever will. But this one is going to be one that I want to really jump into, and almost wanted to, just never found the time with all of the co-op games I've been playing with friends and moving, and I've also got my toes to kind of back in some development stuff just for fun, and just coding and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of one of those games that, especially on the PS5, you can get a nice locked 60 frame rates. So that's going to be one of those ones I use the backwards compatibility mode for and have a lot of fun with. So the next one up here is going to be a game that I actually owned back in the day, but sold, and wanted to repurchase so I can get back into it because it's no longer available digitally. And that's going to be Forza Horizon 4. So with my Xbox Series X, I ended up picking up, well, not picking up because it's on Game Pass, but Forza Horizon 4, played through that, crushed it, played the Lego DLC, crushed that. I actually wanted to pick up the DLC as well for I forget what it's called, but the other DLC that's not included on Game Pass. But I decided that I should probably pick up Forza Horizon 3 first because this one's going to be hard to find. And eventually I'll pick up a physical copy of Forza Horizon 4, and hopefully they'll have like a Game of the Year edition with all of the DLC and stuff, because even though I have access to it on Game Pass or I can buy it digitally, sometimes certain games you just want a physical copy of, at least if you're an old sucker like I am. In the comments below, guess my age. It'll be a blast. You'll probably get it right if you know me, and if you don't know me, you'll probably get it wrong, at least like most of my coworkers. But yeah, it's an awesome game, racing around. One of the only open world racing games that I actually enjoy. I've had a big problem with everything, with getting to events and stuff, but I just find traversing and driving to the event as fun as the event in the Forza Horizon games. I can't wait to see what they can do with a Forza Horizon 5 exclusively on the Series X and S. So this last one is a game that's near and dear to my heart, and it's something that My old roommate and his wife ended up picking up for me as a Christmas gift, but I couldn't get until recently because, well, COVID. And just happened to kind of have to drop something off in their area recently, and we ended up kind of just chatting for a few minutes, and they were able to drop it off for me. And that's going to be Super Mario RPG for the Super Famicom. Now, I have Super Mario RPG somewhere, because I've somehow lost it in one of the boxes, for the Super Nintendo. If you want to see more of the artwork there, this one is not sealed, but that is totally fine. It's in near mint condition, super glad about that, and this will be a nice addition to my collection of just games that I love. I'd like to get on both Super Famicom and Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo ones I picked up when I was younger and just kind of played them, and unfortunately most of my boxes were destroyed, not by me, but by just some family, friends, kids. I'll leave it at that. But it's one of my favorite RPGs, and honestly, other than Chrono Trigger, one of the 2 Super Nintendo RPGs I can go back to because it doesn't have random battles. That's a big stickler point for me right now, and I'm just really glad that they ended up getting this for me, and I get to add it to my collection once I get all my shelving and stuff ordered. And, well, it's ordered, but I just have to organize it and set it up. So this is awesome. But that's going to be it for my recent pickups. If you guys have picked anything up recently, let me know in the comments below. And with that said, I have kind of a little poll for you. I'm going to list out each of these games here, and if you want to just drop down below, hit the link, and go over to Reddit, let me know which of these games that I have picked up here is either your favorite or your most wanted to play. With that said though, let's wrap this up, and I'll see you next Games Tuesday.